50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 481. Today is Monday, December 16th, 2024. Getting it out a little later. That is on me. I was sick, run down, getting sick these past few weeks, but we had a hell of a weekend in football. How you doing today, kid?
Dale, I'm doing great. Other besides the weather, it's been raining on and off all day. Not as freezing as it was last week, so you got to look at things at the bright side, Dale. But other than that, Dale, pretty good.
Yeah, we had a great, outside of not being able to hit a lock dog or my tees, I mean, everything else went pretty well. I feel like we had a good sense of it. We just had to get through the 1 o'clock slate. The 4 o'clock slate was much better. Army-Navy game was really good as well over the weekend. And yeah, we got a doubleheader here tonight. We'll preview Bears-Vikings. We got Falcons and the Raiders. So crazy that it's only a 30-minute difference. Like, at least start it at the same time or start the first game at 7 and then the next game at 8. I don't understand why it's only 30 minutes.
Yeah, it should have been at least an hour difference.
Yeah.
The ideal time would have been like 7 o'clock start and then 8:30 start. I don't know why. Like, I agree with you. I don't know why it's only 30 minutes apart. And both games are, I understand one is on ABC, one on ESPN. But both are technically on ESPN. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I would have maxed it out. I would have did 7 p.m., 8 p.m.
Yeah,
start.
stupid scheduling by the NFL, but we'll talk about both games. We'll have picks and player props for that. And then 6 games here on a Monday in the association. And then Elvis will give you his picks. NBA Cup Championship tomorrow between OKC and the Bucks. But, kid, let's start in the NFL. I mean, it was a tough one. We haven't talked in a while, but nothing really went on that Thursday night game. 12-6 Rams. We do win outright with the +2.5 with the Rams, but game goes under. Not the prettiest game. I'll say that. But Rams, they get 2 wins in a row off a short week. They're looking good right now, kid. 8-6.
Yeah, I had the under on the game, but I didn't expect 18 points total. I didn't expect that. Give the Rams credit for winning a fight. This was a fight, Dale. It was pouring in the first half. No offense, wasn't really able to get it going. A ton of drop passes, honestly, on both sides, mostly on the 49ers, Dale. At the end of the day, the 49ers just got to chalk the season up. Right now the Rams are fighting. They're tied for the NFC West division right now with the Seahawks. I think they own the tiebreaker. So as of right now, they are the leader. But, it's just been a bad year for the 49ers, Still. And last year, they win this game. This year, they've been losing these games all season long. And I wouldn't say it's like, Brock Purdy regressed. I wouldn't say that far. It's just too many injuries. And at the end of the day, I think the Rams are just a solid team. They dealt with some injuries early on, but right now we're seeing them hit their stride. They're healthy. The Rams might be a playoff team with a division title.
Yeah, right now they do own the division, the NFC West at 8-6. They own the tiebreaker between the Seattle Seahawks. So right now they do own the 4th seed right now. They have a 55% chance of getting in with Seattle losing Sunday night, and they have a 34% chance. I agree with San Francisco. The season's done. Chalk it up. Reboot everything. They dealt with a lot of injuries, unfortunately. My question to you, do you pay Brock Purdy? Because the number I've seen, 50, 55, 60 million. Now, I think he's a good quarterback, and I won't run back my comment. I thought he played like a top 10 quarterback last year. Definitely not this year. I don't know he regressed. He just needs a good team around him. Or do you kind of let him go on the market and see where he goes?
I definitely try to bring back Brock Purdy, on a 5-year extension. I think he's, don't get me wrong, is he an elite quarterback? Is he a top 5 quarterback? Is he going to be in the MVP conversation year in, year out? No. But he's a winner. And we saw with Kyle Shanahan, the way he constructs his offense, he could run it at a high level, and you could win games. You saw what first 2 seasons, NFC Championship, Super Bowl appearances. So we know the kid could live up and get the job done. He just wasn't able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all,
Yeah.
Dill. So I think you got to sign Brock Purdy. Maybe you talk to him a little bit in his age and maybe not make him the highest paid NFL player of all time. But if you have to, Dill, I think that's a bullet the 49ers have to swallow.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got to sign him. People are saying maybe the Giants go out there instead of, if they're not really sure about a Cam Ward, you go out and get a Brock Purdy. But I don't know if he would succeed with just Malik Neighbors. That's my.
I don't know if he'll be as good as advertised without Kyle Shanahan.
I agree. We'll see, but I do think they will eventually sign Brock Purdy. So tough loss for them. Scrap the year off, and we'll look forward to see what money he gets in the offseason. Let's go to Sunday. Carson Wentz gets the job done. Who would have thought we would have heard that name? 21-7. Patrick Mahomes, he does have a high ankle sprain. We've seen him play on this injury before. We'll see. They have a short week playing on Saturday this upcoming week. I don't. And they're dogs. The look ahead line, kid. They are dogs right now. If you want to look at the line, they're +2.5, +110 on the money line. You could get the Chiefs right now at home against the Houston Texans, who just locked up a playoff spot. So, real quick on the game, ugly game. Jameis is Jameis. I mean, he really didn't do anything well. 3 interceptions. Not the best game from either team, I'll say. They did just enough to win the game. Ugly game on both sides. I mean, Cleveland, they've lost 3 in a row now. They're trying to get a top 10 pick, but they survive. Kansas City Chiefs on the road. Patrick Mahomes, 19 for 38. Not his best game, but he did have 2 touchdowns, 1 to Noah Gray and then 1 to Juju, that little end around on the corner. But one look ahead, because I don't think they should play. Just get Patrick Mahomes healthy enough for the playoff run. You don't need him Saturday against the Houston Texans. I think the line indicates that he might not play.
Yeah, not much to touch about the game, honestly. Just a short look ahead, Dill. Realistically, you have a 2-game lead on the Buffalo Bills. You're sitting at 13-1. I understand you want to lock up the number 1 seed, but you could afford to drop a game and still lock up the number 1 seed. So if I'm Andy Reid in the front office, I'm not rushing Patrick Mahomes back. I understand he played with this high ankle sprain before, though, but those are big games. That's playoff time, Super Bowl game as well. It wasn't like a week 16 type of injury. So if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, you have a 2-game lead. I'm letting him rest. I'm gonna wait till he's at least 90% able to go. Dill. I'm Kansas City. I'm 2 games ahead. I got the number 1 seed. Carson Wentz. Don't get me wrong. Carson Wentz ain't what he was in Philly, but
he could win a game.
Do I give him a shot to pull it off in Houston? I give him a shot. Dill. If Will Levis did it, I give Carson Wentz a shot to do it as well.
Well, speaking of Will Levis, Bengals, they take care of the Tennessee Titans. Will Levis gets benched 8 for 12, 89 yards, 3 interceptions. We're done with the Will Levis experiment. Yeah. We're done. I'd rather see Mason Rudolph at this point from here on forward. Joe Burrow looked good. He did get picked off twice. One was a tip pass, but I thought Chase Brown had a really good game receiving and running the ball as well. He caught one for a touchdown. He ran one in. Jamar Chase, another big game. But yeah, nothing really to ride home about with Tennessee. They're done. And mathematically, the Bengals are still alive. They have a 3%, or they went from 3 to 6% chance. So they needed some things to happen, which really didn't, but they're really technically alive still.
Yeah, I highly doubt they make the playoffs still. But, Joe Burrow been balling. This offense has been flying all season long. It's been the defensive side, Maybe we just saw the end of Will Levis. We'll see about that, Dill. It is.
Are you done with him?
Yeah, I'm done with him. I'm officially done with him. Tennessee's just they're not a very good team, Dill. And at the end of the day, Cincinnati, they're one of the worst defenses in football. They just have one of the best offensive football. That's all.
Unfortunate news. Their star defensive end Sam Hubbard did suffer a PCL injury it ended his season. A lot of injuries on Sunday, kid. A lot of injuries. We'll talk about that in a little. But yeah, nothing really to take away from that game. Man, what really fucked my teaser? It was done anyway, but Washington, man, they really tried to blow this one. Jesus, I thought, without Derek Carr, I thought they were really going to get blown out. I didn't know how they were going to move the ball. I didn't think Spencer Rattler played all that bad, if I'm being honest. I think he played way better than that Jake Hediner guy. But Jaden Daniels played okay, 25 for 31, 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball really well. Jaden Daniels ran the ball. Brian Robinson Jr. ran the ball. Terry McLaurin had 2 touchdowns, but they tried to blow this game late, if I'm being honest. 9-5, they're looking good. This was a must win. It improves their odds to make the playoffs now, sitting at 82%.
Yeah, this is a disappointing win.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I had them in my teaser. I would have went back-to-back weeks with the teaser if it wasn't for Washington. They couldn't even cover 1.5 against a sorry Saints team without Derek Carr. To be honest, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead. I expected it to be a blowout just because they've blown out bad teams all season long. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's a look-ahead spot, but they just took their foot off the gas and honestly almost lost the game, Dill.
Yeah.
2-point conversion away from losing this game. And to be honest, if they would have lost this game, it would have been a very
bad loss. Yeah, very bad loss. And, I thought the homecoming of Marshawn Lattimore, Jaden Daniels going back to New Orleans, they looked good early on, but they kind of took their foot off the gas, and you really don't want to see that against a bad team. Ravens, Giants, first of all, they keep flying these planes over the thing. They said, Mara, we will not stop until you fire everyone. First of all, who is we? Are there multiple people behind this, Elvis? That's my first question.
Yeah, we know these, people in the tri-state, they definitely got the pockets to make it a we.
Yeah,
definitely a few people. Jet fuel is expensive, though. That's all I'm gonna say. Jet fuel is
expensive. And they were using dashes, so you got to imagine they're paying by character. So you're paying for a dash, which is bull take.
Maybe got a good price because maybe the guy owns. Some
they know a guy.
They know a guy. Exactly.
How many times do you go to work and they'll be like, "Hey, I know a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy." All the time over here in the tri-state.
My cousin works over there. He got it.
He knows the guy. He knows Nino across the street. But the Giants. You saw the garbage bags on the fans' head. They were leaving, and a lot of people thought they were gonna cover the 16.5.
It was live.
Unfortunately, they did not. Honestly, they would have if Tim Boyle was playing the whole game. Tommy DeVito, we're done with him. He's not good. Tim Boyle, there was a chance they could have backdoor covered. Lamar Jackson, what a day. That should have been your lock. Was it your lock?
It was the lock.
Oh, good.
Come on now.
You should have put your bank account on that.
I should have put the house. I only put a nice amount, not a
responsibly, of course.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
What a day. Now, there was a point where he was running and he kind of was holding his pants up. Do you think he shit his pants again?
No, come on. I honestly feel like, Lamar in the offseason did drop about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So maybe still wearing last season's size. Got to drop down from a large to a medium, Dill. That's all.
That's all. But it's a fair question because that has happened. It has happened. So
but another MVP performance by Lamar Jackson. I think I hit it straight on. I said we saw multiple games this season on bad teams. We'll have these type of performances. Over 1.5 was the lock deal. But what I said on the show, put it to +3 at 4 passing, even at 5, because I have a feeling he might replicate what he did against Tampa in Week 7. And what we got, deal 5 passing touchdowns from Lamar Jackson, almost another perfect game, 21 for 25. At the end of the day, the Giants are just a bad team, Dill. Right now they're live for the first overall.
They do. They have the number 1 seed technically.
They have the number 1 pick right now. Let's see what they do with it, Dill. But they're just a bad team. Give credit for Baltimore for taking care of business, covering the big number on the road.
We saw, obviously, we'll talk about the Heisman in just a minute, but you saw Shedeur Sanders throwing passes with Malik Neighbors. Mm-hmm. You think they go quarterback? If they get the number 1 seed, they got to get Shedeur. They have to, right?
You moving forward, DeVito? Doyle? Respectfully, Dale.
Respectfully. Yeah.
As a franchise, are you going to tell your fan base, this is what we're moving forward with next season.
Yeah.
It's a fireball offense in itself.
That is, and you're gonna start seeing more planes and signs over
I just want to know
MetLife.
who's we. I think
that was my question. Who is we? And also
Can we donate to
there is a conspiracy thing. Now, I'm not the biggest conspiracy guy, but there is conspiracy saying that the Jets and Giants have been historically bad since the build of the radiator. Tell me MetLife doesn't look like a huge ass radiator. They're saying now, insider people are saying they want to burn it down. If they burn it down, they have no choice but to build a new stadium. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the internet is saying. Thoughts on that? I wouldn't mind, if I'm being honest.
All I'm saying is, if somebody's going to burn it down, let me be nearby because I could collect an insurance check as well. That's all.
Now, I don't think on the other side, Lamar, he had an MVP performance, but Josh Allen kind of locked it up last night.
Oh, yeah.
But he moves to second at plus 550. Any value on him, or does Josh Allen have it in the bag?
Will Josh Allen pull Carson Wentz and end the season this Sunday? It's the only way.
Wow.
See, no, I'm being realistic. Dude.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Carson Wentz had the MVP locked up. He got hurt week 13. Tom Brady ran away with it. People forget. I did it.
Shout out Tom Brady. Man. First time we take the Panthers as favorite, they fuck us. Bryce Young, he regressed. He looks small out there. It didn't look like a good. He didn't. Sometimes I was watching the game yesterday.
Small
sick.
Let's just say the politically correct word. That's what I would have said.
I was watching the game yesterday in fetal position. Like, how did this man play at the University of Alabama? How? I mean, outside of Jalen Croker, Adam Thielen didn't have a good game. They couldn't do anything. I mean,
over by a yard.
And Cooper Rush had a really good game. CD had a good game. Jalen Brooks, he got into the end zone. Rico Dwaddle, another good game. Shout out the Cowboys, big win for them on the road.
Yeah, we seen Cowboys, finally establish some type of running game, and it's honestly helping out the offense. Is more balanced defensively. They showed up yesterday, Dill. I think the the Panthers did go on a little stretch where they were playing good football, competitive football, Dill. But I'm not going to say the Cowboys exposed them, but let's just say Mike McCarthy showed up with a great game plan, and they executed it damn near flawlessly, Dill. I think the Cowboys definitely had a great game.
Yeah, Panthers, they lose their fourth in a row. They get to a top 5 draft pick. So let's not keep winning.
Good for them. Good for them.
Next game, I can't fucking believe it. What a historical day for Davante Adams and the New York Jets. Man, they still almost fucked it up too. 9 catches, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he had 140 or 130 yards in the last minute,
Just
2 minutes.
Half. Everything came in the second half. All 9 catches.
He went crazy.
198 yards, both touchdowns.
Aaron Rodgers looked good, 3 touchdowns. Couldn't run the ball either, but watch out. Aaron Rodgers' rushing prop. He looks a little better in the backfield. Yeah. Everyone was talking about him being injured. His rushing yards and rushing prop moving forward is a very interesting angle to take. But another huge game from the rookie. I really think Brian Thompson Jr. is going to be a stud in this league. Mac Jones played okay. There's a little moxie out there, I thought Mac Jones did. And thank God he doesn't earn his nickname back, but Ahmad Gardner did finally get an interception. Not Sauce just yet, but he did end the game with an interception. Unfortunately, the Jets, they do win, and they drop to the 8th pick. What are we doing, boys?
What are you doing? You're working backwards. That's what you're doing. Dill, we've been seeing this trend. Aaron Rodgers and the offense have been looking better. Aaron Rodgers definitely look way more healthier, looking way more mobile. So that's one positive you like to see as a Jets fan. You just gotta hope he stays, or resign him. Whatever you gotta do, Dill. I think I like what I've been seeing from Aaron Rodgers lately. You gotta at least like what you've been seeing. Saw a great game by Davante Adams, smashed you over on that. Mac Jones, he wanted to keep that 5-0 record. That's all I know. He wanted to keep that undefeated record against the Jets, but Aaron Rodgers handed his first loss. The coaching staff almost coughed it up, Dill.
Almost, always.
Almost. but the key word in that is almost. Give credit for the Jets, another solid win. And guess what, Dill? Dougie P will keep his job.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers keeps his job and stays with the Jets?
At the end of the day, Dill, if y'all, let's just say y'all win another game or two. Let's just say that. Who are you gonna get to start week one
That's my
next year?
thing. I agree.
Are you gonna pay Sammy D? Are
Mm-mm.
are you gonna pay Jameis? Are you gonna
Brock
get
Purdy,
Brock Purdy, Cooper Rush?
chill. No
I like
disrespect.
Cooper.
Respectfully,
I like Cooper Rush. I like
he's
Cooper.
a
He's winning
backup
games.
though.
He's won more games this year. But like this, he won the same amount of games as Aaron Rodgers. Though, how you feel about that? I think he won 3. Aaron Rodgers won 4. That's all I got to say. Next game.
Dolphins, we're going to continue to fade them. They're done. Mathematically, they are still technically alive.
Yeah.
They have a 6% chance.
Same
But
as the Bengals. So
yeah, but they're
not
done,
making it.
kid. They're done. Tua looked really bad. I mean, he went a long stretch without throwing an interception, but he threw 3 interceptions. Derek Sinley Jr. is a beast. I mean, what a game from him. CJ Stroud finally had a good game. He didn't turn the ball over. Couldn't run the ball. I didn't think Joe Mixon played that well. But outside of that, Nico Collins had a nice game with 2 touchdowns. They did just enough. They did lock up their division though, and they're going to the playoffs.
Another ugly game here. Give credit to Houston for covering and winning, but I'm gonna say Miami lost the game more than Houston won it.
They turned the ball over like 2-3 times in the red zone.
And within the 10-yard line, 2
Yeah.
picks still. If they just cash in the end zone or just kick field goals instead of trying to score a touchdown, they win this game. This is what I've been saying for weeks now. The Houston Texans are gonna backstep their way into a division title because the division is bad. They're not a good team, Dill. Miami, they just give credit to them. Yes, they was forcing turnovers in the red zone, but that was mostly Tua making mistakes. Still, another bad game for Tua. Wasn't able to establish the running game. Tyreek Hill wasn't really involved. Jalen Waddle was he left with an injury deal. Like I said, Houston was not impressive. Didn't look good at all. Give credit to CJ Stroud not turning the ball over, Dill, but another game where he's around under 150 yards passing. Dill, we've been seeing this time and time again from this offense. And now you got Nico Collins back, so what's the excuse? Give credit for the win, Dill, but they're just gonna back their way to the division title.
Yeah,
and
we've
go
said
out
this
first
for
round.
weeks. They're not a good team. They're good enough in some scenarios to win games, but they're not going to blow anyone out. I think CJ Stroud is a good quarterback, but he's taken a step back. I think that is a fair criticism.
Put it like this: if I'm the Ravens, if I'm Denver, if I'm the Chargers,
They're better.
Houston. I want Houston round 1.
All 3 teams in the AFC in the wild card are all better than them. The Ravens, the Broncos, and the Chargers.
And I'm be honest, if they get in, I think Cincinnati will beat them.
Oh yeah, I think just the offense. But yeah, a big win, but they are lucky, I'll say, because they play in a really bad division. This should have been my fucking
as of right now. If the season ended today, it will be Houston and Baltimore.
And Baltimore would, and I guarantee you, Baltimore would be like a -5-6 favorite. They'll be a touchdown favorite.
Yeah, maybe a touchdown.
Even on the road, because obviously Houston's going to get the home field advantage for one game, but that doesn't matter. We saw Elvis. We went to the playoff game last year, and what happened?
Yeah, it was cold. It was
cold, but they blew them out. Let's go to Denver. This should have been my lock. I'm a believer. Why am I continuing to doubt this team? 31-13. It started a little slow, but man, they really put it on in the second half. Not the best game from Bo Nix. He did have those 3 interceptions. Sean Payton was not happy, but other than that, he ran the ball. He used his legs. Cortland Sutton had a touchdown. Nate Atkins had a touchdown as well. Not the best game offensively, but defense really showed up, shut him out in the second half. And Anthony Richardson, like I said, we're going to continue to fade Anthony Richardson. Jonathan Taylor, bad fumble from him. He was the only one that I thought had a pretty good game, rushed for over 100 yards outside of the fumble. But, yeah, this team is not good either.
Yeah, Del. Got a bad beat. We had the under 44, and Still, that pick six almost threw me off my chair. Still, I was like, oh my god. It is what it is. Denver, slow start, but impressive win, nothing less. Bo Nix, he looked like a rookie, Dill. No running game. He was forcing a couple throws and he threw 3 interceptions still, but his defense picked them up. And that's what good defenses do. They pick up their quarterback, Dill. An impressive win, nothing less. Remember, the coach marched right down the field, jumped out to a 7-0 lead, So Bo Nix had to fight back a little bit. Like I said, he forced the ball a little bit. But other than that, I think as for a rookie, he was able to get the job done. Give credit to Bo Nix and the Broncos about to lock up a playoff spot, though.
They're gonna be in. They're 92% chance of getting in. They're locked in, I think. And they did move up. They were the 7th seed, and since with the Charger loss, they go up to the 6th seed. They're 9-5. Their win total was 5.5. We had our boy PD Nova on, and we took the over. 5.5 wins. Look what the rookie's doing. You got to give him credit. Some games he looks like a rookie, and then there are some games he looks phenomenal. He might win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
He might, though. He might. I'm not sure if he's a front runner. I think Jaden
The odds
Daniels.
aren't up. It's only MVP for.
Yeah,
oh no, actually there is. I am sorry. Oh no, it's Offensive Player of the Year, not Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's fucked up.
I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels.
But okay, yeah. No, Offensive Rookie of the Year is up. I need my glasses clean. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels minus 700, Bo Nix plus 650.
I think it's worth a sprinkle at plus 650.
Right? He rattles off a few wins. Maybe
like, let's just for example, if like they finish 10-7 or like 11-6 and Washington finished 10-7, come on.
It's worth it.
Yeah, 11 wins as a rookie. I think
that's impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive in my opinion.
Let's go to the game of the week. What a game this was. I mean, it opened up. I was like, oh my God, I thought it was going to be a blowout. We were on the right side. We took Buffalo plus the points. They won outright. This should have been my dog. Again, another fuck up. I got to start going with my gut. But 48-42, game goes way over the total. Josh Allen, another fantastic game, 23 for 34, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 68 yards and rushed for 2 touchdowns as well. James Cook had a really good game. Shout out Ty Johnson. He had himself a career day. 5 catches, 114 yards. They got a couple of their guys back. Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. Khalil Shakur had a touchdown, but a little lower of a day, a slower day for him. But, Jared Goff had almost 500 yards. He had 5 touchdowns. He didn't turn the ball over as well. He was sacked 3 times. But they just couldn't rush the ball. I think that was the difference maker. Yes, obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown had a career day, 14 catches, 193 yards, a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs had a touchdown. Sam Laporta went for over 100 as well. Tim Patrick got in the end zone. Jamison Williamson got in the end zone as well. Dan Skipper. Shout out the big boy, Dan Skipper, for getting in the end zone as well. But obviously, kid, real quick on the game, tough loss for the Lions, and they got a lot of injuries that I'm going to talk about in a second, but they could go from right now. Obviously, they are the number 1 seed, but they got to start winning games. They could fall from the number 1 seed to the 5th seed real quick.
Yeah, Dale. I think yesterday solidifies Buffalo the best team in football. Josh Allen most likely locked up. I'm going to say, secured. But I'm going to say he locked up his first MVP award after yesterday's performance. We saw the historic performance even the week prior in a loss in Los Angeles. Still, he followed it up with a better game against the best team in football, the Detroit Lions. Well, best offensive football in Detroit Lions still. Josh Allen was just flat out amazing, people. What he was able to do in Detroit, it just shows you that he's the MVP of the league. I got to give him credit. The offense still. Like you said, it was everybody. James Cook ran over 100 yards, 2 tutties. Josh Allen ran for 2 tutties. Ty Johnson led the team in receiving, over 100 yards. Keon Coleman, nice game back. Just 1 catch still, but he's a great option to have. And no Amari Cooper. Look how good the offense was. No Amari Cooper, deal. It was nice to see Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, both of them back in the lineup. Still, this was an impressive win. I would have loved the defense to kind of shut it down because remember it could have got out of the hand early. What was it, 17-0, 14-0 early
I think
on?
it was 14-0. Yeah.
It could have got out of the hand early. I would to me if let's just say Buffalo would have won this game 48 to like 21, I would have been like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
they're coming.
give Detroit credit. We know that offense is gonna go. Jared Goff has one of his best games ever. It's just the running game wasn't there. Jameer Gibbs wasn't able to get nine. David Montgomery he walked off with an injury. That we got to look how the offense looks moving forward, Dill, because it was the Sonic and what was Thunder? No,
No, Knuckles and
yeah.
Sonic.
Now it's just Sonic, Dill. Defense is gonna prepare just for Sonic. They don't need to worry about Knuckles, Dill. So I gotta see how this offense moves moving forward. Because after David Montgomery left, I understand it was still putting up a ton of points still, but the running game was non-existent. So yes, give credit. They was able to come back and fight, Dill. But at the end of Detroit defense, little questionable, Dill. But other than that, I think this was one of the best games to witness all season
Oh, it
long.
was a playoff game. I thought it was the Super Bowl. I don't know now with all the injuries. Dan Campbell did come out and say David Montgomery his season's over. He's having season-ending knee surgery. Also, I think the biggest problem is their defense, kid. It's been a problem for last few weeks now, and if they're not putting up 40 to 50 points, they're not going to win. That is an issue for me. Defensive lineman Emil McNeil, he suffered a season-ending ACL injury. Carlton Davis, their cornerback, he's out indefinitely. He broke his jaw. He's going to miss the next 3 weeks. They're hurting right now on defense. Now they go back. Now they only have one running back. Kid, moving forward, do you trust this Lions team? Because, like you said, the Bills have solidified they are the best team in the league.
Yes. Do I trust them? Absolutely, Dill. It's just, are they gonna be, still a top three team in the NFL moving forward without David Montgomery? Are they still going to be a top two offense in the NFL without David Montgomery? Defensively, we seen them take a step back, just because of injuries. It's not coaching or anything. It's just because of all the amount of injuries. I understand you could use the term next man up, but at the end of the day, you're just gonna run out of the next man up. So I just gotta see this team moving forward. Offensively, we know they got Jameis, they got Amos, they got Sam Laporta. They can rely on Jared Goff. But Dill, if you're not able to establish a run, it's gonna be hard to win games moving forward.
Yeah, they do have the Bears next week on the road, and they are laying a touchdown. So we'll see. They have some winnable games, but they can't afford to lose any and give up that number 1 seed. I will say that. Let's go to the next game. Eagles, they are looking like a dominant team as well. The Battle of Philadelphia, they take care of the Steelers 27-13. They wind up covering the 5.5. Game goes under the total as well. Jalen Hurts put all the noise to rest with him and A.J. Brown. What did we say? As soon as he got called out, another 100-yard game. Look for that to continue. 8 catches, 110 yards, a touchdown. Devontae Smith went for 100 yards as well. Saquon, slower game, but it really didn't matter. And I'll say this, a lot of people are saying, the touchdowns aren't there for Saquon. Yeah, because Jalen Hurts is taking a lot of them away when you get into the goal line. But another game, Jalen Hurts does not turn the ball over. He almost threw for over 300 yards today, 290, 25 for 32, 0 interceptions. Thought he played good. Just offensively, Steelers did not look good. Defensively, I don't think they looked that bad. Just offensively, Pat Firmer, he got the touchdown, but they couldn't run the ball. Najee Harris didn't do anything. Jalen Warren didn't do anything. Cordell Patterson couldn't do anything. Justin Fields went in for like a play. They were missing their number 1 in George Pickens, but yeah, offensively, kid, this team, when George Pickens is not out there, this is a team that I really don't trust offensively. Because who are you going to throw the ball to? That's my problem. Calvin Austin? Mike Williams doesn't do anything. Scotty Miller is a dub. Like, who are we going to throw the ball to?
I agree with you there. I think we just saw that the Eagles are for real. I think they dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. I think we saw Jalen Hurts' best game of the season,
Yeah.
with his arm at least, because he had
Hmm.
some impressive games. So, passing the ball, though, I think this was his best outing of the season. Just 7 incompletions, almost 300 yards, 2 tutties. He had a rating of 125, and him and his friend AJ Brown finally got
We don't know
brewing.
best.
Yeah, but finally got brewing once again. We heard the comments post game last week. Even after a win, you still got to keep your superstar wide receiver happy, Dill. And I guarantee AJ Brown's one happy man. 8 catches, 110 with a tutty. Devontae Smith got involved in as well. He said, "Give me some of that." Jalen Hurts was just impressive. Still, he showed people, and I think his post game uh, comments, even before a question was asked, he said, "Oh, that's what y'all wanted to see, huh?" Before he even
Mm,
sat down, he said, that's what y'all wanted to see, huh?"
yeah.
Still, he was impressive. I understand he's not in the MVP conversation, still, but I think him and Saquon has been special all season long. The Philadelphia Eagles are for real. And then on the Pittsburgh Steelers on the opposite side, I'm gonna say this is Russ' worst game. We saw Jalen Hurts' best game of the season. We saw Russ' worst game of the season. Realistically, I'm gonna give more credit to the Eagles than try to downfall the Steelers. At the end of the day, they out without their number one receiver in George Pickens. Their running game wasn't really able to get going. And besides Calvin and Austin, they really didn't have a wide receiver doing anything. Firemouth, like you said, caught that touchdown. But other than that, offense was kind of staggered. Give credit to Philly in that defense. Nick Fangio got the boys rolling. Philadelphia are for real, Dill.
Yeah, Philly, big game next week in division against the Redskins. They're trying to get that 1 seed. They are tied with the Detroit Lions at 12-2. And don't look now, but next week at the bank, Baltimore are 6.5-point favorites over the Steelers. George Pickens might not play again. That's for the division, kid. I mean, I'm going to take a little bet here. The Ravens are going to win this division. The way the offense and defense have been playing right now, I think they're playing a little better than a hurt Pittsburgh Steeler team. So we'll see. Big games for both of these teams come next week. Let's go to the next game. New England Patriots 17, Arizona Cardinals 30. Nice back bounce win. Of course, I don't bet them, and they wind up winning. But
Covering at that.
yeah, covering at that. Sean Murphy bunting, he got the interception as well. That was a nice one. Drake May, I thought played okay. A lot of these yards though are coming at garbage time, which I don't like to see. I want to see him do that more in the beginning. Like he had a good fourth quarter, but first quarter, second quarter, third quarter was MIA. Ramondre Stevenson couldn't run the ball either. I want to see more of this in the beginning of the game. Is that fair?
Yeah, I feel like just our offensive play calling is a little conservative. And then when the game is a little out of hand, now we open it up. Now we're taking shots downfield. And we're seeing it. It kind of works still. Drake May, wasn't really aggressive in the first half still, but he was pretty good. I want to see him throw the ball a little more. 19 for 23. I understand some of them were deacon dunks, but 19 for 23, I'll take that. Uh,
Yeah.
One touchdown, one pick, only 2 sacks still. At the end of the day, he had a rating of just a hair under 100. QBR wasn't that great still. He just desperately needs a number one wide receiver. I'm not saying he's gonna take off like Josh Allen, but look how Josh Allen took off when he got Stephon Diggs still. I think
Yeah.
Drake May needs a number one wide receiver, and we're gonna see him take that next step. Hopefully we could get like a T. Higgins or somebody like that this offseason who's gonna be a free agent. Give credit to the Cardinals keeping their playoff chances alive, division hopes alive. Kyler Murray had himself a good game, not great, pretty good game. Chase Connor ran the ball tremendously, in my opinion. Trey McBride, another great game from him, but I wouldn't say impressive, but you covered the number and you got a good win against a bad team in the Patriots.
Speaking about covering the number and didn't even need the number, winning outright as dogs. What a huge win for the Buccaneers. 40-17. They go on the road and just dominate the Los Angeles Chargers. What a game from Mike Evans. He went for almost 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bucky Irving, what a game he had as well, rushing for over 100. Baker threw for 4 touchdowns as well, only 1 sack. I didn't think Justin Herbert played all that bad, if I'm being honest. They just really couldn't run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
We said it. No J.K. Dobbins. This team can't run the ball with just Gus Edwards. That they get Lab McConkey back, but that's just not enough here. He had a touchdown. Quentin Johnson was really quiet. DJ Chalk Jr. He's quiet as well. They're a good team, but Buccaneers, they big win and they get to the third seed now, kid.
Yeah, watch out though. Looks like Buccaneers, depending on what Atlanta does tonight, though, might be running away with the NFC South division. Baker Mayfield, what a day. 4 tutties, 1 interception, only 1 sack, 22 for 27, around 300 yards. Still, Baker is on that time, Dill. Him and Mike Evans, that connection's been special. I even said it last season. They have to resign both together. And look, we seeing it. Mike Evans, buck 62 tutties. The guy, Jalen McKillen, he's
Yeah,
emerging, Dill.
he is.
Looking around, I think Chris Godwin is set to return, in a couple of weeks, definitely before playoffs, Dill. That's gonna be a pretty good wide receiver core with the tight end Otto Auden. Dill,
Cade Otton, yeah.
yeah, I like this wide receiver core right now, Dill. And Bucky Irving and Rashad Wright. They might not be Sonic and Knuckles, Dill, but that's a pretty solid 1-2 punch, Dill. I love what I'm seeing from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I said it, Dill. I said Tampa, we're live dogs. It's just I don't see the same team we saw early on from the Chargers. They were a defensive team that was able to run the ball, and Justin Herbert takes his shot when needed. They're not able to run the ball,
Yeah.
and Justin Herbert, we've seen him regress just a little bit because the running game is not there. Lama Conklin showed up. The kid Stone Smart, the tight end, I like him. He showed up. Other than that, though, nobody was able to make an impact on the outside. Give credit for Tampa. To me, one of the most impressive wins of this week.
Yeah, Sam, J.K. Dobbins being out really hurts the run game, and then also the defense is always out on the field, which, eventually it's going to take its toll on them. Big win for the Packers. They are for real as well. Sunday Night Football. I don't know why the fuck I was betting on Seattle. I thought, their defense is getting going
We
at
was on opposite
home.
sides a lot, Dill.
But yeah, Packers. They're a good team. Josh Jacobs is such a good running back. This is another year over 1,000 yards, 26 carries for 94 yards. He had a touchdown. Wasn't really able to pass the ball all that well. Jordan Love was good. He was efficient, 20 for 27, 2 touchdowns. He had 2 of them, 2 Romeo Dobbs. And I think the only bright side, I know Gino got hurt, but JSN is their number one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've Elvis brought it up about a little over a month ago. I mean, 10 catches for 83 yards. He didn't find the end zone. Sam Howell came in. He's not good either. And I think they're really missing Kenneth Walker III. Zach Charbonnet can have a good game here and there, but he's not Kenneth Walker as well. So, I guess moving forward for Seattle, they are on the outside looking in 8-6. They are tied with the Los Angeles Rams. Right now, are you taking the Rams or the Seahawks?
I'm taking the Rams still, just because I could trust Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay, because they've been there and done that. I understand Cooper Kupp coming off a 0-0 game, but he's been there and done that. Curtin Williams, still, I know he's a young running back, still, but he's one of the most consistent running backs in all of football. This is back-to-back seasons now. He's putting up great numbers. Don't get me wrong, I like Gino, but you got at the end of the day, McDonald or Sean McVay. Sean McVay. Matt Stafford or Geno Smith. Or all due respect, Matt Stafford.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Curtin Williams or Zach Charbonnet. Curtin Williams. Wide receiver core to wide receiver core. Yes, DK is that guy. Yes, we've seen Jackson Smith and Jigba merging, but Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua is one of the best 1-2 punches on the football, Dylan. And defensively, yes, maybe Seattle could scheme up a little better, but the Rams are right there, people. So, in my opinion, I think we got to give the edge to the Rams. But let's get back to the game, Dill. I think Jordan Love had one of his most impressive outings, Dill. 20 for 27, 2 TDs. Let's not forget, people, in Seattle, in a lot of history between the Green Bay Packers in Seattle, especially in Seattle, Dill. I love the fact that Romeo Dobbs came back, got in with 2 tutties. Wasn't a major game, Dill, but the fact that he was able to get in, get 2 tutties, to me, that's impactful. First game back in, I think, 4 weeks. Look at that. Comes in, get 2 tutties. Christian Watson, not a crazy game, Dill, but he's healthy. He had 2 great games prior to this one. Josh Jacobs running the ball really well. To me, the Packers proved to me something yesterday that they could beat a solid team. Right now they're sitting at 10-4, Joe. But let me tell you, their 4 losses. It's the best teams in the NFC. Is Detroit twice, Minnesota once, and Philadelphia week 1 in Brazil. Without those top 3 teams in the NFC, Packers are for real, and I think I give them a shot to make a playoff push. Still,
Yeah.
I love what I saw from Jordan Love, and we know Matt LaFleur could coach his butt off. Still, if the Packers defense could just stay true, still I think this offense could compete with all the other top guns in the
Yeah,
NFC.
no, they're definitely legit, and like you said, their 4 losses are all to the top teams in that NFC. It's crazy, 10-4, and they're in third place. That's actually really insane. But overall, the games I didn't bet, I had good takes on. I just didn't wind up betting. But my lock, dog, teaser, all shit this week. So I apologize for that. How did you do this weekend?
Another great week so far. I'm 9-4. I got there with the lock, got there with the dog. Lock of the weekend was Lamar Jackson over 1.5. The dog of the weekend was the Buffalo Bills. The teaser, Dill. The teaser always gets me. It was the Commanders this time, though. I
Yeah.
had Buffalo in the teaser, and who else I had in the teaser? I think
Pittsburgh?
no. Who was it? I'll tell you right now. 1 second. Oh, Arizona to a pick 'em, Dill. It was cash. It was Washington to -1.5, Arizona to a pick 'em, Buffalo to +8.5. So almost
No, it
got
was
the.
Arizona cash for you. They won by
I
13.
know it was the Commanders.
Yeah, it was Commanders.
It was
Yeah.
the Commanders. So we got there with the lock, got there with the dog, almost got there with the teaser. As of right
Uh,
now, 9-4-1. I pushed with the under with the 44 under with the Colts and Denver game. But other than that, deal, another solid week from your boy.
You always wind up getting those pushes.
Yeah,
A few a year. You always get a few a year. It's
few
all
a
right.
year.
I like that. All right, kid. By the way, shout out Travis Hunter. He did win the Heisman. Very emotional. Suit was fire. Deservingly so. I mean, playing both sides of the ball at the volume that he was doing it at. Not taking anything away from Gentry. He was amazing. If Travis Hunter wasn't playing, Gentry would have ran away with the Heisman. But Travis Hunter was the deserving Heisman, in my opinion.
Yeah, if Travis Hunter didn't play both sides, Gentry would have definitely won the Heisman. But we saw one of the best players of all time play. I understand. Maybe the talent. I think the talent could transfer to the next level, deal. But what Travis Hunter did this year for the Buffs was something, maybe one in a lifetime, deal. To be a top 10 wide receiver and also be the #1 corner in the nation, deal. I don't think we will see that again in our lifetimes. Maybe we'll see somebody play both sides, but be dominant, be considered the best in the nation at one position and top 10, top 20 in the other position that you play. I don't think we were able to see that again in our lifetimes.
Yeah, it's one thing to play both sides, but at the volume and execution
Level.
that he is, it's insane. He's going to be a top 3 pick in the draft. So shout out Travis Hunter. Also Army Navy wins the 125th meeting. They put up 31 against the Black Knights. Oh, it was fantastic to watch. Blake Horvick, man, 25 carries, over 200 yards, 2 tutties. He threw for 2 tutties as well. What a game they had. I mean, Army couldn't do anything. They started going for it on 4th down on their own side of the field. They just couldn't do anything. That defense, the midshipmen, not the best year for them, 9-3, but they win the big one and they defeat Army 31-13. Game goes way over the total too, by the way. The under fucked us, but we do get there +6.5. They went outright, kid.
Yeah, glad we was both on that side, though. +6.5. Shout out Navy, taking care of business. We both said it was kind of a look ahead spot for Army. We know Army got the big bowl game, so they're looking ahead at that. Give credit to Army, take care of business. First time, I think that's one of the highest scoring Army Navy games in my lifetime.
Yeah, literally.
That was a little shocking, but other than that, deal. Give credit to Navy and watch out for Army next week.
44 total points. I don't think I've seen that in Army Navy game in quite a while. But yeah, shout out the midshipmen of the Naval Academy. Big win for the boys. All right, kid. Before we get to the doubleheader for tonight, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or a new flavor, coconut, watching Monday Night Football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Monday Night Football. We will start with technically the earlier game, 8 p.m. Eastern in Minnesota. Vikings hosting the Chicago Bears. Minnesota laying 7 at home, -320 on the money line, +7 for the Bears, +250 on the comeback. Total is sitting at 43.5. Kid, we will start with the side. What are we feeling here for the Minnesota Vikings and Bears?
Realistically, Dill, after seeing what I saw last week, it's hard to be on the opposite side. I say that. But I do like the Bears plus the 7, Dill. I think the Bears can lose a close game. Wouldn't be surprised they lose, 27-21, 27-24, something like that. 20, 20, I think they lose by a touchdown around there, maybe 4 points, 5 points around there, Dill. I have a feeling they can make it interesting. We saw this Vikings offense explode last week against the Falcons. I think Sammy D had 5 passing touchdowns. Addison had 2. Jefferson had like over 100 yards. Still, they had a tremendous game offensively. I highly doubt they're able to do that again. Can they? I wouldn't be surprised. I'll just be damned if they're able to execute like that again. Chicago defensively have regressed a little bit, but offensively, Caleb Williams has been playing a little better, taking care of the ball. He just needs to stop running into sacks. If he don't run into sacks against Brian Flores in that defense, I think they could cover the number, Dill. So I'll lean the +7. Not sure if I'm gonna go there officially, Dill, but I do like the +7 with Chicago.
I'm going to buy a point down and take a -6.5 Minnesota here. They're coming off a huge win against Atlanta. I think, 42-21. Chicago, 7-game losing streak. They've only covered the spread twice in that span. And, to be fair, the Bears did push the Vikings into overtime a couple weeks ago.
The Vikings.
Yeah, but they were down 14 points entering the fourth quarter in both of those games. They did claw back. Shout out them. They were aggressive. I think Caleb did play extremely well. I think he threw for over 300 yards. But, I just think on the road, his production does drop off. Minnesota's defense, 3rd in the league in defensive EPA. So I expect some regression from Caleb Williams in this spot. And, they've struggled, the Bears. They've struggled to run against the run all year. So maybe a big game here from Aaron Jones. But, this team looks flat. I don't really trust the interim head coach, Thomas Brown. I think that's a fair criticism as well. How motivated are they? So instead of the 7, I'll buy a half a point. It's -6 on FanDuel, -6.5 at -118. I'll lay a little juice, but I do like the Vikings here at home. What about the total, kid? It's sitting at 43.5.
Realistically, I like the over, Dill. Like I said, offensively, Caleb Williams is playing a little better. So I expect Chicago, especially, they played Minnesota a couple weeks ago in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. We saw them hit a little stride offensively, and Minnesota has been putting up points all season long. So would I be surprised if it's like a 20, like I said, 28-21 game? Absolutely not, Dill. That goes way over. So I like the over there. I think 43.5, 44 points is just a little too low. Just how well Minnesota offense has been playing as of late, and Caleb Williams has been playing a little better as well. I understand Minnesota's like a top 10 defense, but I think this number is a little short.
What about player props? What are we feeling here for player props?
Dale, I love this player prop. This is my official play. I advise almost everybody to
responsibly
put a little money on this. Give me Jordan Addison over 53.5 receiving yards. As of right now, I put it in at FanDuel at 55.5. Shout out my boy Leeson. He put it in for me. Give me Jordan Addison over Dill. Whatever number you could get it at. I think he has another huge game. Maybe not 2 tutties with a buck 20 Dill. But I'm gonna say 80 plus yards. Maybe gets into the end zone as well. We know the main focus is gonna be on Justin Jefferson, and deservedly so. I think Jordan Addison is gonna win one-on-one matchups all day long. Wouldn't be surprised if he's at 80 yards by the end of it.
I love it. I was looking at Roma Dunze over 42.5 receiving yards as well. I think Caleb Williams, we've seen the connection with him and Roma Dunze as well. So I was looking at that. I do like your play. I was looking at Justin Jefferson over his longest reception at 25.5. He's obviously a huge deep threat, and the Bears, I don't think they could guard him at all. So over 25.5, longest reception for Jordan Addison as well. That is going to be my 2 player props in this game. Let's go to the next one. 8:30, just 30 minutes after. In lovely Las Vegas, the Raiders are hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Raiders, home dogs, plus 5.5, plus 220. Falcons and Kirk Cousins laying 5.5 here on the road, minus 270 on the money line. Total 44.5, kid. What do we like here?
Hey, I know you're gonna hate it, Dill. This is a must-win game for the Atlanta Falcons. You don't win this game, and you have a very favorable schedule moving forward. You got I think the Giants next week. You got the Panthers in a couple weeks. You got Tampa, where you could possibly go out there and fight for the division, Dill. I think if Atlanta wants any shot to make the playoffs, so they need to jump out and hit the Raiders right in the mouth. Right now, the Raiders are chilling, possibly trying to get the number 1 pick and get Shadur Sanders or somebody like that to change their franchise around. They're not a very good team. Atlanta still has hope. Give me the Dale. I like the minus 5.5. Not going there officially, Dale. I might go there officially, maybe in a couple hours still. But I do like the minus 5.5, maybe 6. Atlanta should win this game by 10 points. Still, they should win this game by a touchdown. If they don't jump out to at least a double-digit lead in the first half, I'll be disappointed. Dale. Give me Atlanta to beat this bad Raiders team, who I honestly think tanking for the first overall pick.
I agree. I think Atlanta has to win this game. Desmond Ridder is playing. I mean, are we really going to trust him?
Hey, it might be a revenge spot.
Yeah,
might be a revenge spot.
It's Desmond Ridder, kid. I'd lay it too. I'd lay the 6.5, whatever you're able to get. Or it's 5.5, like I see on some books. So shop around.
My official play, Dale. I'm gonna give it to y'all. I'm going first half minus 2.5 at minus 125. That just shows you how disappointing Atlanta Falcons has been so far. That I gotta go first half, not full game. I might go first half later. Could give me minus 2.5, minus 125. Atlanta to cover the first half spread. Like I said, they're not up at least double digits. I'll be highly disappointed.
You were talking about the over for the first game. I like the over for the second game, over 44.5. I think we could see a lot of points. Huh? I don't trust from the Falcons. Max Crosby out for the season. Yeah. Who's gonna stop them? Drake London, Darnell Mooney. I think we could see some points here, and I could say we could see some 10, 13 points from Atlanta. So
you see 30 something from Atlanta.
Yeah, big. I smell a blowout here.
I hope.
So I like the over. So you're looking at the under.
I don't see 30 plus points from Atlanta. I don't see more than 16 from the Raiders. So
leaning under. All right, let's go to player props though. So what are we feeling? Like I said, we got Bijan Robinson, Kirk Cousins, Darnell Mooney. What are we feeling here?
I definitely like Bijan to find the end zone, Dale. It's just really juiced right now. I do think he'll find the end zone. His yards is a little high, 84.5. I do like that, but Ray McLeod, man, he's been a little more involved in the offense. His over-under is just at 36.5. In these past few games, so he's getting a little more targets than going over this number, Dill. I like him over 36.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Drake London and his receiving yards over 64.5. I know they're on a 4-game losing streak, but 46 targets from Kirk Cousins. He has 25 catches for over 300 yards in that span. He had 10 targets last week on 70 yards. He's gone over this number in 3 of the last 4 games. So 64.5, I think, is extremely low. And Las Vegas, one of the worst defenses in the league. They play soft against the coverage, 27th in EPA allowed per attempt, 26th in opponent success rate dropback. They're just bad. They're just a bad team. Now they're without their leader in Max Crosby. I don't think they're going to get pressure. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a lot of time to sit back there. So I think he could go for 70, 80 yards in this game. So over 64.5, I like that play. I think it's a little low. I like anytime touchdown. I see it at plus 150 as well. I like Drake London to have a big game here tonight. Anything else, kid, here for a Monday night doubleheader?
Dale, hopefully I don't get fucked. That's all. Hopefully, I can have another successful week. A 10-win week will be great as well.
Yeah.
But just a positive week will be great. So we're looking like that, and hopefully we just have another great day.
Yeah. Elvis, good luck. Let's finish week 15 strong. Before we get to the slate for tonight, though, kid, in the association, your Nets were in the news over the weekend. They did finalize a deal to send your boy, Dennis Schroeder, and 1 second-round pick to Golden State for DeAnthony Milton and 3 second-round picks. Apparently, the Shams, the Warriors envision starting lineup with Dennis Schroeder and Steph Curry in the backcourt. They want to have Schroeder. They want him to alleviate the handling responsibilities at the point guard position. They made him a priority in this deal. I think it's a win-win. They started the season off hot. They've gone 2-8 in their last 10. I also think for the Nets in a rebuilding year, you're not going to win anything, but you get 3 second-round picks and DeAnthony Milton. Think it's a win-win for both sides. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think as a Nets fan, I'm upset that Dennis Schroeder is walking, but personally, you gotta look at the bright side of things. Maybe those second round picks could help a trade down the road in a deadline. Maybe we acquire somebody, or maybe something in the off season, or maybe we hit a home run, and one of those draft picks is a future All Star deal. And I think for the Warriors, this is exactly what they needed. Like you said, they lost 8 out of their last 10 games. They're struggling a little bit. And Steph Curry, we know he has the ankle injuries, his ankle history. If you want to have a chance to make the playoffs and possibly contend for a title, Steph Curry can't be your primary ball handler. He's going to have to work off the screens and get his shot. That's when Steph Curry in his offense is flowing at his best, when he's running off the ball. Dennis Schroeder can command the offense and it can run it. And not for nothing, Dennis Schroeder has been a ton of big games over these past 4 years for Germany.
He's a champion.
Games. He's a champion. So I think this is a great addition for the Golden State team who's been struggling over the past month.
I'll say this. I also like Steve Kerr putting Draymond in that bench role. I think he's been much better. Kuminga has been better as a starter. And let's be honest, I know Steph Curry is obviously the best player on the team, but Andrew Wiggins has been the best player so far this season for this team. I mean, he's been bugging for them offensively and defensively. So, yeah, I think it's a win-win for both sides as well. Also, tough news for a team, that we had big expectations for in the 76ers, but promising rookie Jared McCain suffered a torn lateral meniscus in his left knee. He's going to undergo surgery. He's out indefinitely. The timetable is unknown, but we're looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 months. So maybe a mid-March, April return. But Elvis, by that point, the team season might be over. Thoughts on the rookie getting, because he was looking good. He was their best player.
It sucks. Hopefully it's not for the season, nothing like that. He was the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Till there's a lot of tickets out there that had his name on it. I know a lot of people are upset about that. There's going to be an Offensive Rookie of the Year, and nobody knows who's going to be. I'll say that. For the 76ers, this is a blow just because the season's been disappointing so far. And honestly, the only bright side was Jared McCain. So, it sucks that he's going down with injury, but one thing you can say for the 76ers, maybe this season is going to shit still, but next season, hey, You got to look at things from the bright side. Do they still have a shot this season? Yes, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of injuries been piling up, and it's still early on the season.
Paul George is hurt. Joel Embiid 2 hours before we went live. He has a sinus fracture, and he will remain out and reevaluated in a week. So this team is not looking good right now. There was a stat. I think they've played. I think he's played 12 games. I don't know why. It was funny. They said, you know how people say it's playoff Paul or playoff P. They said it's podcast P. He's in 16 podcasts and he's only played in 12 games. How you got more podcasts than games played this year? I was crying, bro. I thought that was hilarious. But 76ers are in action here tonight, kid. What do we like here for Monday?
Still, for Monday, got a couple games. Let's start there. 76ers taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets catching 3 over and sitting at 216.5. Still, I caught a better number earlier. I got -2 with the 76ers. I still lay the 3 here. You know, the Charlotte Hornets are just a bad team. And realistically, the 76ers still have a good enough lineup to take care of business. No Joel Embiid deal, but Paul George is in. Tyrese Maxey, he's back. Kelly Oubre is there as well. They still have a pretty good core to get the job done. Give me the -2, -3 of 76ers on the road. Next game up, Chicago Bulls taking on the Toronto Raptors. Bulls laying 2 on the road. Still, I'm a little surprised they're not a more of a favorite. Give me the Chicago Bulls -2. Take the money line. I caught -114 on the money line. As of right now, shop around. See -1.5 out there as well. Money lines at -122. I do think Bulls take care of business on the road. Next game up, Denver Nuggets taking on the Sacramento Kings. This game is a little, but give me the Denver Nuggets on the road, -104 on the money line. As of right now, people, they're live dogs. They're dogs. You catch +105 on the money line, +1.5 points if you want. I think Denver's the better team in my opinion. Give me the plus money on Denver. And then don't really like nothing else. I do lean Miami -4.5 on the road against the Pistons tonight. But other than that, I'm gonna just stay away. And then tomorrow night, NBA Cup final. A banner will get raised, I know you hate it, but a banner will get raised. Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, live from Las Vegas. Over on this at 215. OKC laying 5 points still. I would say this is honestly the 2 best teams in the finals right now. Honestly, the Bucks started slow, but over the last 3 to 4 weeks, we can't deny the Bucks has been on a roll. And OKC, to be honest, they've been more better than I thought. They're a 12-5 team, and they've been impressive in this Cup run. Yeah, I like the Bucks still. What my boy name? Darvin Ham is undefeated in Cup play, but he suffers his first loss tomorrow. Give me the Thunder -5 in Las Vegas. Still, the Thunder right now is just the best team in basketball. I think that's what it comes to. Yes, will Giannis give it his all? Would I be surprised if Giannis, goes 30
triple dub?
36, 14, and 8. Absolutely not. I just don't think it'll be enough. Still, give me OKC Thunder -5 on the road in Las Vegas, and I also lead Giannis over 30 points as well.
Good luck tonight. Good luck tomorrow. NBA Cup final. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Dale, let's just have a good week. We'll be back in a couple days. And for all the people that hate it, a banner will be hung.
Good luck. God bless. Guys, bye.